Do you think that police brutality is as widespread as the internet would have you believe, or is it mostly just a few videos that go viral to paint that picture due to the amount of people that share and talk about it?
I don't think it's as widespread, but I do think it's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think any like cases of police brutality is bad. Like it should definitely be squashed.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do you think that it's fair in what we're doing that we are demonizing an entire profession? Because realistically, I mean, they sign up to serve and protect the community, but it is ultimately a profession.
yeah,
Do you think that it's fair that we kind of demonize the whole profession just because a couple bad apples or anything? Or
I don't think it's fair for those that do their job and go home.
mm-hmm.
But if it takes demonizing it to get those good apples to get rid of the bad apples, then I mean, as long as no one gets hurt, then um, as yeah, like I said, as long as nobody gets hurt, I don't see an issue with that. Because like, if I was a cop and I kept getting told like how much of an issue I am, I would be doing everything in my power trying to report any like wrongdoings that I see. And then we
Mm-hmm.
run into the issue that we've seen those that try to do that get fired immediately for it. Like, what was it?
I
Someone.
was gonna say I personally haven't heard of that. So if you have an example,
Let
I
me
would, or
let
if
me
you can
pull it
think
up
of a.
here. There was something a friend posted on Facebook.
Do you think that there should just be more internal policing in the sense that, because unfortunately, you're not gonna. Some people say bad cops, but sometimes it's just situational. I think you might agree on that. Where if you see someone who shoots an unarmed man, it could have been an entire accident. I saw there was a video a few years ago of this dude who shot someone, and he's sitting there crying on the front of like his lieutenant's car, like he's like completely distraught. But he did
I think
shoot.
I remember that.
Yeah, he did shoot someone though. So I mean, the media or the internet would have you believe that's a bad cop right there, but he knows he did wrong. And so I don't think necessarily just because someone gets shot it paints that that person is necessarily bad. It's sometimes unfortunately it is just an unfortunate situation. Um,
And like I said, not all cops are bad.
mhm.
It's just the bad ones that get caught are the ones that paint like the bad picture on officers, on like all of them.
If you had to put a number on it, a percentage or something, I love percentages because it can be completely opinionated, but it kind of expresses your opinion. It's not fact, but it is. By putting a percentage on something, I can see where your mindset's on. So if you had to put a percentage on how many bad cops there are, what percentage of police would you say or would you consider bad?
Whole country or like a department.
Um, you could do Minneapolis and then whole country. Just you can do kind of Minneapolis and you could do kind of in general.
My it's a very small percentage, like single digits. I would
Mm-hmm.
say like mostly like per department. I'm still trying to find this picture because when I looked at it, I was like, that's absurd. Um, if I had to put like a number on it, I would probably say like 5 or 6% like per department are probably bad cops, like dirty cops
Mm-hmm.
that shouldn't become a cop. Um, but it's like the whole thing. I'm not gonna find it. I give up. And it's the whole thing. Like one bad apple spoils the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Is there anything that we can do as a country to get the masses to think like that and to not necessarily demonize every cop? Because I mean, we can all agree it's a very small percentage that are bad cops.
right,
For being someone who considers yourself pro reform, what do you think they could do to basically get people to stop jumping directly to judgments or jumping directly to conclusions that basically all cops are bad?
that's a tough one. Um, hmm, that's definitely a hard one because everybody like as soon as an incident happens, like they immediately want the facts. Like
Well, I'm not even talking when incidents happen. I'm talking in general because
in general,
you have
um,
You have just people who they see a police officer and immediately they're like, "Oh, that's a pig," and they immediately start assuming that person is a bad cop just because of some of
Yeah,
the bad ones or anything. But ultimately, it is a very small percentage and a small bit that are actually bad cops.
yeah.
Um,
I think I would say actually do something about the bad cops. Like when something bad does happen,
mhm,
and like the police officer is obviously in the wrong, or the investigation comes out that they are bad. Actually, like show that the justice system, like the system, actually does work, and get them out of there.
mhm,
Because going back to Minneapolis, here, like the reason why they have such a bad reputation is because like the union, like when it was obvious that those four officers killed George Floyd,
mhm,
at least that one did, um, and during the riots, like the union president straight up said that he was going to fight for not only all four to be acquitted, but also for all four to get their jobs back. That's an issue to me because it was pretty obvious in that video to me that at least uh, one of them was the cause of the person's death,
mhm.
um, and like it's something like if it's shown that like if the guy is guilty of doing something bad illegal, like get them out of there because I guarantee you he's going to do it again if he did it on purpose.
Mhm.
Um, if it was accident, this is where like the whole like immunity thing comes into play because like I know a lot of people are like pushing for to get rid of that whole immunity thing, but
Mhm.
like accidents happen. I will say that. Like I
Okay.
will give you that.
Okay.
Like that one guy that accidentally shot the person and was in tears on that squad car. Like accidents do happen. If the investigation comes up and was an accident, then obviously that guy should be in the clear. But if the investigation comes up that he did it on purpose, whatnot, then obviously some sort of disciplinary action needs to happen
I got
because
you.
it'll just happen again.